I got freaking dropped off in an Atlanta neighborhood at 4 o'clock in the morning because of you. We got kicked out of a cab by some girl who said her dad was going to find us and kill us.
Yep. And worked for the FBI. Yeah.
Or did I get pissed off and say it was a rent-a-cop? Or was that just in my brain?
No, it was a mall cop. Oh, good days. Either way, I hope you guys had fun with the broadcast today.
It was such a stupid night. The first cab broke down and then we had to get into another. God, that was...
Yeah,
why is it that every time I party with you, we get into crap like that?
I don't know, but it was good times. Just like our broadcast today, we had a lot of good North American StarCraft. I really enjoyed it. For the people just tuned in, wondering what did you miss, Jim played a couple of cool games against the SEC. Certainly the game on Whirlwind is one that I recommend. JonSnow vs Puck, game number 1 on Belshire was excellent. Game number 2, perhaps a little one-sided after the start, but still very cool execution by Puck. Earlier today we saw Jig go up against Sage in a series where I felt Jig had windows of opportunities, but Sage closed them. And we also saw Minigun take out Sage in a very quick PvP series. I think I've touched on all of them. We had a TVT series between the SEC and Select, which was kind of one-sided. Select didn't show us his A game.
Man. He wasn't on point.
It was fun, we had a lot of fun. And of course after this, Challenger League will go on a minor break. We're gonna wait until the people will drop out of WCS Premier League round of 16, which starts on Monday. We hope to welcome all of you back. You guys are welcome here in the studio as well in Rancho Cucamonga. Wherever you live in America, whether it's Idaho, Louisiana, Kansas, Houston, Dallas, Florida, you're always welcome.
Did you say Austin?
Yeah.
Austin's a good place.
I've been to Austin for Lone Star.
Yeah. It's a cool city.
It was awesome. Pockets, of course, are Red Protoss spawning on the left top side of the map. This is WCS Challenger League bracket stage, round of 32.
Bracket style.
Bracket style. And as I mentioned once more, the winners will play against the people who lose in Premier League round of 16. So if things go crazy, you might end up playing against Asia, Hero, Hyun, Scarlet, Sen.
Unlikely on all counts.
Any of them.
But not impossible.
No. Now who do you think is going to take it, Ben? JonSnow or Puck?
I feel like Puck is the better player.
You think?
But JonSnow looked really good. And I think a Puck loss would be an upset, but I don't think it's an impossible upset. I would say that it's maybe 55% Puck.
I'm really impressed with JonSnow today. I actually played against JonSnow, but that's quite a while ago. Didn't go well for me. Played against Puck multiple times. PvP is always a little more likely to go good for me than PvZ. Obviously Puck is a much better player than me.
Fast 3 base for JonSnow upon realizing... Has he even scouted yet? Does he even realize?
Neither player knows a whole lot.
So he's going to go 3 hatch without scout. That's pretty bold. It's going to work out for him, though, because Puck has gone Nexus first. Maybe JonSnow just knows this is how Puck likes to play. He's going to get some lings up into the main. This isn't Nexus first. It's Gateway Expand. What am I talking about? I am so good at casting StarCraft. It's like, I just say words, and whether or not they're true, they're coming out of my mouth, man.
But what is good for for JonSnow is that he's going to be annoying with these links. Might be able to pick up a probe. That's very nice, and also a lot of lost mining time here for Puck. This is a very annoying start for Puck, and above all, Puck has absolutely no idea what he has to worry about. For all Puck knows, he has to worry about the crazy link follow-up right now. You know, crazy amount of speed links. That's what I would be afraid of. The opposite is true, however, as JonSnow has a very economic opening, and those Zerglings, they were meant to die and get some information.
Those were Nurtio lings, man.
And they definitely did that.
Every Zergling Nurtio makes gets into the Protoss base.
Pretty quick warp gate technology, by the way. Might see one more go down. I think that Puck is going to put on some 4-gate pressure, man.
With the Stargate?
Oh. That's the Stargate. I thought it was 4-gate. Oh no. That's okay.
He could still do some pressure.
But he doesn't have anything out on the map. I thought this was a 4-gate. I think it was going to run out with these 3 units and drop a pylon somewhere. Because like speed links are so far off. But Puck doesn't know this. Like Puck doesn't know anything. You know, for all Puck knows, he played against the 12 full opening.
What is this strange thing, this statue? Like the Sphinx, man.
It looks a little bit like Hakazan at Vega. The lion.
Kind of scary though. What do you think that inscription reads?
A long time ago, Protoss used to beat Zerg on this map.
Here lies Tassadar. His last psionic storm.
It was like such a big storm, covered the entire map. Everything just died. Like, whoa. I can see that happen. If Tassadar would storm, that would not be like a High Templar storm, man.
It'd be like a Brood War storm.
I'm not sure if this is worth it, 3 force fields. 4 lings. But you know, at least he's hiding. I don't think he was able to see which target unit was. No, I guess
You
you
made a
can
good read, man. Threw down the spores. Roach Warren also starting up already, but no need for roaches just yet. More drones on the way. JonSnow's going to have a good economy, and at this point in the game, Kevin, I'd give him better than a 55% chance. I like what I've seen so far.
Yeah, I like what I see a lot from JonSnow. I really love his position. I don't think much can go wrong for him. He has spore crawlers in position, these void rays. The only thing that can go wrong is if Puck is going to play this passively, he's going to go up to 3 bases. He's going to chill on his void rays that he doesn't have to worry about. But I think it's about anything, and basically
one more gate. Sometimes this means attack, sometimes this means expansion.
Yeah. How many probes do we have? We are on 41 right now.
It means more likely.
But I think attack is not going to work. So I think if Puck wants to win this game, it's going to have to be 3 base or maybe 4. I don't think attack is an option.
JonSnow has his safety roaches out, and he's back to droning. His layer's done. He's taking extra gases. I'm kind of feeling a spire.
I don't think he's going to do that. I think it's just going to be roach fighter. It's going to be very important for JonSnow that he keeps scouting. Zergling speed is still not done, so he knows that things could go out on the map without him noticing it. This little Ling is so important. It's going to harass this probe. I thought maybe pick it off. Now the Nexus goes down. 9 minutes and 20 seconds. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think he needs to do more than just get a third base. He needs to get aggressive.
Probably going to be canceled. I don't know. We'll see.
47 pro. He's still building probes.
Offensive weapons.
Oh, so many sentries, by the way.
Dangerous.
Sweet lord.
Oh, JonSnow missed it. Now he doesn't see it at all.
No, he's gonna fight the 4 sentries regardless, man. If he picks these 4 sentries off, which he will, look at those roaches. They're having the time of their life. They're like, ha, force field's good, right?
Still, this is scary as there's only 10 roaches out on the map. No roach speed, and they're gonna get force fielded in. JonSnow's in trouble if he loses these units, Kevin. And Puck is just going to continue the aggression. This is like mass sentry void ray.
Yeah,
this is like an MC push of old.
I don't think he's in that much trouble, man. Like, sure, this looks scary, but at the end of the day, this is only sentries. And sentries just don't kill roaches very quick. I think JonSnow is going to buy enough time for himself.
Is there only 1 void ray? Yeah. Oh, wow. I thought there was more than that.
No, it's only 1. Like, sure, a lot of units are going to die, but sentries just cannot kill roaches.
JonSnow's going to pull the drones, realizing that he's got to make a decisive stop here, and Puck's going to recall out. So crisis averted for JonSnow.
Beautiful hold by JonSnow. Made
Puck,
it
on
look
the other hand,
easy.
Could be in a little bit of trouble.
Like, the counterattack might be scary. Then again, if Puck stands on the high ground here, he can drop good force fields. This is an area where, sure, it's not easy to force field, but it's still doable. Puck,
I really wish he had planted a spire. That would be the sickest follow-up right now.
He made an infestation pit before. I guess he cancelled it when he saw that push because he thought it was going to be an all-in. But now he realized it wasn't an all-in, so he made it again.
Puck still with a probe out on the map, dropping pylons, will be able to continue his aggression. 4th base starting up for JonSnow, and this is probably where Puck's going to be sending those zealots that he warps in. Meanwhile, roaches and hydras cruising around the map. It'll be hard to do anything about this expansion with the Protoss units hanging out there on the high ground.
This Hydra found another Hydra because he felt like the odd one out. He's just like, this is not cool, man. Everyone's speeding green stuff.
Puck?
Some good forces should be able to keep him alive then. I'm not too worried for Puck over here.
Puck?
I am worried if he's not going to do anything. Might lose power to that Stargate. Couple force fields should go down right now. Those are reasonable force fields. Did he let too much squeeze through though?
It's hard to say. Reinforcement lings are coming in, and that's going to make it harder for Puck. Extra force fields go down, and those are a little bit better, sectioning off a lot of this army. Roaches and hydras eliminated from the fight, but look how much damage these gateway units have taken already.
And not just that, man. 2 void rays are down, so that kind of resets the void ray count a little bit, and that's, I think, all that JonSnow wants to do.
Despite the fact that Puck cleans this up, it was a pretty okay trade, I would say.
Yeah, look at the unit loss resource tab. It kind of tells the story. Here comes a little Ling army, kind of overeager. Guys, go back. This is not your moment.
Zerglings, stop. Zerglings, go home.
Zerglings will go home. I mean, the unit loss resource tab shows us that JonSnow lost a little bit more throughout the entire game, but that's an excellent side as a Zerg player because he's been severely outmining Puck throughout the entire game. So losing 400 resources more while you mine 2,000 more, pretty good deal.
Puck's worker count is where it needs to be, though. He's on about 70 harvesters. Vipers on the way. We haven't seen JonSnow make Vipers at all this series, so this is the first. Now, his upgrades are again late. He's steadily delaying his upgrades in favor of faster tech or more units. So that's an interesting thing to see. Fortunate timing for JonSnow, unfortunate for Puck that he runs these Zealots in when he does. There happens to be an army there. So that should keep away the presence of the pylon.
I'm really worried for Puck. Puck's army is not capable of dealing with Roach Hydra or Viper. I don't know what he wants to rely on. Does he want to rely on Stalkers eventually? And I know that he has fantastic blink control, but I feel he needs more. But I really feel he's going to need Storm or Colossus. But Colossus are obviously just going to get abducted in. Oh, we have a little bit of a hallucinated Phoenix run by. Yes. Puck knows now as well, so I guess we're just going to see him rely on Storm and Archons. And charge slots? Does he have charge? I don't think so, right?
I don't think he
does not have charge. There goes Templar Archives immediately, which I think is a smart decision. He knows that if he goes Colossus right now, they'll get abducted. I think Puck's in a world of trouble.
Maybe more than just a world of trouble, Kev.
Man, JonSnow makes such a solid impression on me. This is why I'm like kind of going on about him and I'm liking the way that he plays. It's just because it all looks so clean, so normal. He's just doing what we expect a really good Zerg to do. He's not making any rookie mistakes. He's just playing his games and he's droning up. He's not playing afraid. I don't feel he's playing overly greedy. He's just playing like a man, not like a boy. He's still kind of a boy. He's only 16 years old, but he plays like a man.
He just denied for a second time the warp-in attempts of Puck, and will now get this pylon. So Puck's map presence is now just non-existent. He's got nothing going for him.
I love this too. I think he's realizing that Puck is trying to buy time for himself, and he's just like, I'm not going to send my entire army behind the Zealots. I'm going to send a few Lings, which might be enough. Maybe one Zealot will survive, but you know.
The perfect number of Lings. One Zealot walks out of it with like 10 hit points. What's he going to do?
Man, I love this attack by JonSnow, and Puck, you're gonna have to go with a miraculous. So a couple of units were trapped behind those cannons, very odd. Puck knew this was gonna get hard. That's why he was gonna get it static D, but Ben, is it going to be enough? Blinding Cloud going down as well. Good force fields by Puck, very good.
The Blinding Cloud makes it hard for Puck to engage this. Yoinks on the Void Rays. That just eliminates them from the equation, and now the Stalkers are gonna run forward, and they can't really fight under Blinding Cloud. Storms are good, but just unfortunately nowhere near enough. JonSnow's at 170 supply. He's broken the ramp of the natural. Yes, these Stalkers will chase back this small group of Roach Hydra, but the 17 reinforcing Roaches, the 8 reinforcing Hydras, they're going to come and they're going to be bringing the pain, Kev. 2-2 is going to be done. Adrenal glands are going to be finishing up. And Puck is in big trouble, man. Big trouble. And JonSnow, you are so right about him. He has played great. This whole series. He's taking the right fights right now. Again, he reset the Void Ray count. All that's left is a bunch of Blink Stalkers, and he feels with the next wave of units he can crush it. It's not over yet. We see Puck, Puck can fight from the dead. He made impossible comebacks already, but he just doesn't have anything out. He doesn't have a lot of options, man. The only thing he has out on the map is that one Zealot with 20 HP. That Zealot right now is just he's like I really want to go harass, man, but I just don't think I'm up for it.
No, my knee kind of hurts, Just, I'm not feeling it today.
I was an adventurer like you, and I took an arrow to the knee.
Couple of Zealots being wiped in here. Puck's gonna get spread out, but he knows it, so he's anticipating on that as well. Couple of storms might land really big though on these Hydras.
That's a pretty good fight for Puck. Great force fields make it incredibly manageable. Good blink control as well. Now the storm's going to come down, and that's going to force JonSnow back. So a great engagement for Puck. Keeps him in the game for a little while longer. JonSnow staying max. Oh, wow. I don't know how Puck's going to deal with that. I don't know that he can.
I would have loved to see him commit with these Roaches though during that fight, because now these Roaches were just kind of standing here after those Zealots were warped in. He's going to take out this pylon, which should on-power at least one cannon. Yeah, that's going to be the other cannon gets backed up. If Puck gets up to 4 bases, I've seen Jaedong take some absolutely horrific fights on this map against Protoss.
It's hard to take a bad fight with 6 Ultras though, against the kind of army.
Oh no, I've seen Jaedong attack like up to this, with one small choke, with 7 Ultras. And then MC's like, cool, I'm winning. And then he stepped on creep and Lynx killed him. That happened in WCS Season 2, man. Finals at Gamescom. If you thought the Gamescom finals were cool, get ready for Toronto, guys. Toronto's where it's at.
You are not prepared.
You're not ready. A lot of Vipers, but what can they pull in? They can throw a lot of Blinding Clouds. Maybe the High Templars. That would be so weird, but... Here come the Ultras, Ben.
Alright, ready for a party?
He can just back up right now. That's all the High Templars. It should be good. And so much Blinding Cloud, sweet Jesus. Where does he get all the energy from?
This is about as good of a fight as Puck's going to get, but Blinding Cloud continues to be pretty good. These Ultras are...
Kind of in a bad position, man. That's beautiful by Puck.
We said it was hard for these Ultras to take a bad fight.
You said
somehow
it was
they found out. They found a way.
I knew it was possible.
Man, Puck can just... This is not the first time we've seen him with
Puck
these ridiculous defenses. Remember that series against Hyun where he made the pylon wall and it looked so over and Puck made it so close?
I mean, 88 supply against 106. I felt JonSnow was perhaps a little too trigger happy with his blinding clouds there, and Puck just kept avoiding it. He did lose all his high Templos, but he re-warped in a couple of them.
I mean, that was maybe a situation where Infestor would have worked better than Viper.
Yep.
But regardless, JonSnow.
I also feel you need a few more ultras. Like, if you can actually start kiting ultras, then then you know that there are not enough ultras. You need this overwhelming amount. Where outside the ultras don't have massive upgrades, by the way, Ben. They are on 1-4.
Good armor. Not that great of attack.
There's one more on this armor, right? He could be on +5. So this is like +2 armor, basically.
Well, he's got +2 plus chitinous plating, so...
Okay.
That's what you're seeing.
He has reasonable upgrades, but... It could be sicker.
Here we go again. This time there is an Immortal in the mix. Great storm on top of these Hydras.
Are there still Vipers?
Oh.
Yeah, there are 2 of them.
Ultra's one shot. Maybe. Here we go. Again, JonSnow's going to try to make a fight. Good blinding clouds. Great storms, man. Oh my god, full duration storm. Those Hydras just sat in it. And Puck is just... His unit control is unbelievable. JonSnow will push the fight once more. Zealot's going to get up on these High Templar, and those aren't High Templar, those are Hydralisk. But the Zealots, regardless, will melt away.
Hydras with storm. Fire on the way right now. I think JonSnow is realizing that this is just not really working, and he's able to take 1 or 2 more of those bad fights, but that's about it. Now he's just falling back on creep. If those fights are on creep, he knows he's absolutely going to demolish this army of Puck, but those fights were not on creep, and Puck, as you said, Puck is playing on 3 monitors. That's just what's going on. Because he's microing Blink Stalkers on 2 different sides of the battle.
Puck's roommate and his little sister all playing at once, man.
I think that's against the WCS rules. I'm gonna have to look it up.
We're gonna have to check into this, guys.
Freaking 3 mouses.
But
and there's another guy sitting in the other room actually macroing at home.
Puck is somehow sticking in this thing, man. Think about all the ladder games that Puck almost lost that he brought back like this, and how much rage Zerg players have felt. Oh, Protoss! This is why Ghost User hates Protoss.
Puck is thinking about taking out this 5th base, but JonSnow also just keeps going with bases. He's on the 6th base. Meanwhile, this 20 HP Zealot is still securing the... He has 6 skills, by the way. I'm not sure of how many of those were links, but I think 1 or 2 were probably a drone as well.
Yeah. DT defense here at the 4th expansion of Puck is going to mean that the minimal damage dealt Zealot attack here into the... Man, Puck is bringing this back. Kevin, I think Puck is now ahead somehow.
JonSnow is still very rich. He's saving up money for a Broodlord transition. Broodlords can be good.
Broodlords, 32 Blink Stalkers. I don't know, man.
Why? Broodlords are Broodlords.
But Infestors are not what they once were, and just naked Broodlords are not going to get it done.
Man, this is such a cool game, you know. Perhaps this is the future of North American StarCraft that we're watching here, man. It's been a while. I've been so entertained. There's no other way to describe it. By a PvZ series between 2 North American players, as I'm seeing here between JonSnow and Puck. It's just been such a fun, cool series. Puck will actually be able to get this hatchery on the right side of the map with a couple of Dark Templars.
JonSnow can rebuild it immediately.
Does he have the money to go with him, though?
Bank. JonSnow should max out soon. He's got more Corruptors on the way, more Broodlords on the way. This is a terrifying Protoss army.
22 Hydra Broodlord, man. I lost games on Tal'Darim Auto against this army.
Yeah, this is as old school as it gets, man. Here's one very happy Ultralisk, and he is in the wrong place. As are his Hydralisk buddies. I'm not really sure if this is like the game at the fair you play where the ducks run back and forth. A couple of blinding clouds go down. Oh!
And that Puck is like, oh, that's...
Where are you going? Where are you going,
Look
Archons?
at that Ultra. Ultra's like, yeah!
This is my time. Get on, my friends! Another expansion gonna die as Puck's onslaught continues. Still, we have a maxed out Zerg against a nearly maxed out Protoss.
Broodlord over here. Broodlord lost his friend.
Oh man, that was the longest shot I've ever seen. Broodlord, stop. Broodlord. Don't do it, Broodlord.
So how is JonSnow going to force a fight?
I don't know that he ever can, and beyond, like, Puck's so much more mobile.
Yep.
Like, he has so many options.
Oh, he's gonna think about. He's thinking about fighting. I'm not sure with all these Hydras here as well, Ben. I don't think that this is the fight Puck wants.
It's gonna be a tough one. Puck's in a Blink Thunder. Oh, huge Blinding Cloud. Fantastic Blinding Cloud, and Puck has to disengage. And that's a big win for JonSnow. His first one fight in a long time. And Puck has to bail out. Excellent casting there by JonSnow. Just super clutch.
Yeah, but Puck also underestimated that army. Like, Broodlords which are covered by Hydras, that's not something Stalkers can fight. Archons are misrallied. One Archon will fall immediately. And oh my, suddenly this army of Puck doesn't look all that intimidating anymore.
Broodlords over this kind of geography are incredibly hard to engage too. Like this base might be dead.
3 Stargates on the way, by the way, so he's gonna maybe a big Void Ray transition, but there are still plenty of Hydras out on the map. There goes the forward blink.
Another funky blink. Is there a blinding cloud? Yes, there is. And again, a good fight for JonSnow. Puck down to 140 supply. JonSnow still maxed. 6 Broodlords, 33 Hydras in that same happy Ultralisk.
And JonSnow is so good. He's really, really good.
This Ultra's got 2 kills. He's done like no damage. He's just the escort.
He really has 2 kills? Oh, poor guy. Probably felt a lot more important.
Guys, I want to be Zerg too.
Look at this, 4 Dark Templars under an Overseer trying to engage the army at the same time. There's already another Overseer as well. Not even DTs are going to bring this back. Fuck. Like, does he have money for stuff? No, he doesn't really have gas. He just made 6 Dark Templars. All these Dark Templars are... Well, there's so many DTs just everywhere.
I mean, they could run around and they could do some...
They can kill bases.
Some damage, but they're not going to kill any armies, that's for damn sure. Is
this army going to get out? Yo, he's blinking away. Wow, that's sick.
Ninja Stalkers, that's why they wear this mask.
And these Immortals are like, that's why I hate hanging out with you guys. You always do this to me. As soon as it gets dicey, you guys leave me behind. And now JonSnow has to be careful too, because he's splitting up at a lot of places, man. This is where Dark Templars can be fantastic. A couple of Ultras, Ultra does get picked off. I think this was Reinforcements Ultras, by the way. Overseer is getting picked off. There are fights all around the map right now. What a fantastic PvZ this has been.
DT Harass as well, and one of JonSnow's last remaining bases can pick off the only spine crawler there, and these drones are all dead. Such a ridiculous game unfolding before our eyes. Puck is at 140 supply. JonSnow's got 170. He's leveling the main base of Puck. So there's
6 bases going down as well, man. 6 bases going down to all these Stalkers. Void Rays are in production. I think that Puck is hoping that JonSnow goes broke and has no anti-air, but he has like a ridiculous amount of Hydras. These Dark Templars are gonna die. These Stargates will die. I think these Stargates were a waste of money. They just never really paid for himself. Did he get anything out of it?
There's a couple Void Rays out. There's 2, literally a couple.
But Void Rays are not good against Hydras anyways.
Yeah, definitely.
Look at this Dark Templar hit squad. These guys are strong, man.
These are, Destiny would call them Bro Templar.
Full base rate fully initiated now. 23 Stalkers against 39 Hydras and 6 Broodlords.
Now, the army of JonSnow, believe it or not, is far less mobile than the army of Puck. So Puck, with the advantage of speed and mobility.
Oh, there's Overseer, but there's a little bit of position.
Naked Broodlords caught by Void Rays. Kevin, these Broods are all going to die at the 3rd expansion or 4th expansion of Puck. There's only 2 Broodlords. Oh, wait, Puck, why are you retreating? You don't have to run from Broodlords. You can kill those. He's going to fall. And that is going to be another expensive loss for JonSnow. Supplies 100 to 140. Army supplies 74 to 115.
I would also like to point out that JonSnow knows nothing about this 5th and 6th base. Nice blink over there. There are no Overseers here, so this little Hydra hit squad gets cleaned up. We had 40 Hydras on the map. Right now we have 38. Still a lot of Hydras. But, you know, one time, if Puck is just able to... Like, JonSnow's running low on money. What is his income? 580. You know, killing the Overseers is... How many Overseers we have? We have a lot of them, though. There's 7 of them on the map.
There's enough.
But there are only 2 of them with this army.
But it's just
JonSnow doesn't know about
the Stalkers never have to fight. Oh, my goodness! We're going to have a big fight here, and the Hydras are going to retreat.
Nice blinding cloud. Stalkers running into the Hydras. That's not what you want. Man, is Puck actually just doing this?
It feels so impossible, but he is mining. He's got a harvest, not a harvester. What's it called? Saturated base here at 9 o'clock.
He's got a harvested base.
He's harvesting at this base.
Harvest.
Where are my words? They're escaping me. The only mining
He's harvesting, okay.
the only harvesting happening in JonSnow's camp are these last 4 tiny little mineral patches. There's not much money left to be had.
Puck actually went to 0 minerals there, just showing how broke this is. Now this Hydra found what he didn't want to find. Oh
dear, it appears there's a base over here, and I'm all out of brutal.
Puck has a lot of gas, and as long as these simulators are running, well, that's not for very long. They have like 78 gas left among the 2 of them. But then you can wipe in a couple of additional Hydra. He's remaking the Twilight console. Then he's probably going to remake the Templar Archives if he didn't lose. Yeah, he definitely lost that. So he's going to remake that, and he's going to have a lot of...
JonSnow's droning. This is always a scary moment when a Zerg player realizes he's in the super late game against a tough army and he has to add drones.
Those Dark Templars really paid for himself, man.
Yeah, they surely did.
This was such a DT game as well. When there are 5 fights going on at once, you know you want to have a Dark Shrine. And that goes to Templar Archives. And Puck can right now make maybe like 4 or 5 Archons.
Now got 2 mining bases, Kev. And JonSnow has got to do something about it, because if Puck starts to harvest, like, all right, no longer will I use that word. If Puck starts to bring in a substantial amount of money.
There are a couple of Vipers in this army, Bender. I think that Puck wants to keep that base alive. He might gonna try to engage. A couple of abducts go 4th sentry.
Why me? Why me?
There's so many things you could have killed there. Wow, that Archon. Man,
Hydra's
go to hell and back.
Clouds.
Man, this Archon, he's like
pinned to the edge, man.
He's like, guys, they're not that tough. I was fighting them for a little while. Wow, Hydra gets surrounded by probes. Every single Hydra that goes down is one that counts. Nice pick up
like,
there.
did you know Hydras only have 1 range?
Trust me, man, these Hydras are not very developed. We're fighting a very weak species of Zerg over here.
Alright, so JonSnow eliminates 1 more of Puck's bases. A Dark Templar will eliminate the only mineable expansion that JonSnow has.
He might be able to keep it alive if he really wants to.
He's got his army is in the wrong place, and all the Overseers are with that army. This is narrow.
Such a cool game, though. It's such a fantastic game between JonSnow and Puck. The entire series has been very entertaining. I thought game 1 was cool, but game 3...
Puck lost his main base, but you know what he didn't lose? That.
Yeah.
That sneaky little building.
It's a beautiful building as well. It has lights. Hydra is going to try to engage. He cannot attack up this high ground. He's going to get force fielded. He's going to get stormed. He knows it. What he can hope for is a couple of abducts.
I think attacking here is... Maybe you can just blanket everything.
No, I think he's just looking for a couple of nice abducts. If he picks it off Void Rays, he picks up Archons.
Machine gun stalkers.
Yeah, something. And even Stockton, man. Every pick up fast. Look at the screen. The screen is like, I'm ready. I've waited for this moment.
I will transfuse you, Hydralisk.
I think bringing Queens is like the... You know, the same thing as what happens in a soccer match when it's like the 94 minutes and they're down and they pull the goalie. That's like when you pull the Queens.
Oh, great blinding clouds. A great fight for JonSnow. The storms do land on the Hydras, but not much dies there.
No, there's still 37 Hydras remaining, but I felt that was okay for Puck as he was able to pick up a couple of these Vipers. How many Vipers remain? 2 of them. He's going to try to soak up some more energy. JonSnow's just not mining.
He needs a new base, but he
can make one if he wants to.
That's the one to take, the one we're looking at right now.
Yeah,
he's got that one covered by his army.
He can keep pressure. Uh-oh, Archon's going to have some naughty plans. He knows the Vipers are not here. I don't know if he knows, but he's going to try. The Hydras are not really all fighting.
Is this the fight that ends the game for JonSnow? Puck with some great storms, a great... Oh my god, good game. Well played. Root Puck with just one of the...